This video, we are going to assemble the Scarecrow pop-up card. So we're going to start with our base. Got cat hair on my table. Let's see. So I've already adhered the panels, and now we're going to prep the rest of the base. So you'll notice that there's one tab here that has two slits in it. This will be the top. So this is the top of your card. The ones with one slit each are the bottom. Then we're going to flip it over. We're going to fold on the score lines like I'm showing. Okay, then we're going to take our glue. I forgot to try to shake out my air bubbles because I just refilled my bottle. So this little 1/4 inch space that we just folded, we're going to glue that to the inside of the card base. Hold that down just for a few seconds to make sure it stays. Okay, and then you can set that aside. So your corn stalks have two pieces. I don't know if you can see that here, one shorter than the other. I've already glued mine together. If you are using a thinner cardstock, you'll want to double this piece just because he's a little bit tall and he is your center. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the corn onto the back. And if you wanted to, you could glue the corn in between the two green pieces. And if you do that, you'll want to, especially because you'll have a lot of extra moisture, and that can make your paper curl a little bit. So you'll want to dry that under something with a little bit of weight, okay? But I did think about doing that, but then I couldn't because I like to dry this piece before I start. I didn't. If you do it in between, then you won't, you'll just have the green on the back with the corn showing. So that's up to you, but it'll work either way, okay? And I am going to go ahead and stick this piece back under my mat while we work on the others. Okay, so I'm going to pull in the body of the Scarecrow. The color of this base, if you don't want to do it black, that's fine, but it is the color of the shoes, the eyes, and the mouth. Okay, they're cut out in the main piece. So, a brown might work. Then we're going to put his overalls on. And you have two little straw pieces here for his hands. And then we have the face, the head. So I'm going to put some glue first here on the hair. Whoops. Go ahead and just going to glue it in place. Okay, and then you have a small triangle for the nose. I just dropped it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. So I'm going to put the glue on his face where I want his nose to go. He has a patch for his overalls, and then he has 2 patches on his hat. And there he is completed, and we'll put him on the base. That's our Scarecrow. So the front piece is just the fence. And now let's pull out our corn stalk. And we'll pull in. So the corn stalk goes in the slit that it has just one. Your Scarecrow goes in the slit that's on the fold. And then your fence piece goes in front of that, okay? So then I'm just going to pull these out this way, lay them down. I'm going to work on this corn stalk first. I'm just going to slide that through to the slit that's in the bottom. Flip it over. I'm going to fold this tab up, and I'm going to glue it to the bottom. Okay, just want to make sure that's stuck well. Flip it back over and start with the front piece, and we're going to slide this in to this back slit and down through the bottom. You have to put this one in first. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to flip it over and fold our tab up and glue it to the bottom. Flip it back over, and now our Scarecrow is going to go into this center slit. And this one works a little bit differently because this one works the open and closing of the card. And I wish I had realized that we have green on green, so I apologize for that. So you're going to lift this up, and we're going to glue the tab from the top just to the Scarecrow, okay? So give me just a second, and I'll push this up so you can see that we are just gluing it to this tab, okay? You don't want to get glue here on the bottom. You don't want to glue this whole thing down because that will glue your card shut, okay? So just put glue on this tab, and then you're going to fold this bottom tab up and glue it just to the Scarecrow, okay? So you'll see when you push it, this whole section rises. If you forget to glue the top tab, this top section will not go up. Your pieces will just slide right through it, okay? So you want to make sure you do that. So on the opposite side, you're going to leave the top tab down and you're going to fold the bottom tab up. We're going to glue these two tabs to these two tabs. And I'll push it up while I put the glue on it so you can see a little easier. So we're going to glue these two tabs together. You want to use enough glue to hold it well, but not so much that it oozes out and glues your card shut. Okay, so we're going to push this back down and we're just going to fold this in half on itself and glue these tabs together. Okay. And you have a little bit of bulk here on the top one, so just take a few extra seconds making sure you have those glued in place. And then I just like to test it. I push the bottom up, make sure everything rises the way it's supposed to, and it does. So now I'm just going to fold this tab down and glue it shut. And this is the Scarecrow pop-up. Thank you for joining me.